The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the world's most enduring and complex geopolitical issues. Both sides, Israelis and Palestinians, lay claim to the same small strip of land along the eastern Mediterranean. This land, sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, has witnessed waves of conquest and migration. The modern conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, with the rise of both Zionism and Palestinian nationalism. Zionism, a movement advocating for a Jewish homeland in their ancient land of Israel, gained momentum following centuries of anti-Semitism and pogroms across Europe. Simultaneously, Palestinian Arabs, the majority population in the region, developed their own national aspirations for self-determination. The situation grew increasingly complex following World War I. The British, through the Balfour Declaration of 1917, pledged support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Following World War II and the Holocaust, the international community supported the creation of the State of Israel in 1948. This event resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe, in the Arab world. In recent years, the conflict has seen renewed violence, with clashes between Israeli forces and Palestinian protesters. Despite numerous peace talks and international diplomatic efforts, a lasting resolution remains elusive. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, marked a significant development, normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab nations. However, issues such as settlement expansions and protests continue to fuel tensions in the region. Humanitarian aid efforts in Gaza highlight the ongoing struggles faced by Palestinians in the region. Jerusalem, the ancient city revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims, lies at the heart of the Israel-Palestine conflict. For Jews, it is the site of the first and second temples, the holiest site in Judaism. Christians revere Jerusalem as the site of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. For Muslims, it is where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have ascended to heaven. This convergence of religious significance makes Jerusalem a city of immense spiritual importance, but also a focal point of conflict. The eastern part of Jerusalem, containing the Old City and its holy sites, was captured by Israel during the 1967 Six-Day War. Israel subsequently annexed East Jerusalem, a move not recognized by the international community. Palestinians consider East Jerusalem to be the capital of their future state, further complicating the situation. The status of Jerusalem is one of the most intractable issues in the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. In recent years, tensions have escalated with frequent clashes at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the signing of the Abraham Accords has shifted regional dynamics. International efforts continue to seek a resolution, but the path to peace remains fraught with challenges. To truly understand the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it is crucial to delve into the Palestinian perspective. For Palestinians, the conflict is not just about land and borders. It is about dispossession, displacement, and the struggle for self-determination. The Nakba, the Arabic word for catastrophe, remains a defining moment in Palestinian collective memory. The displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians during the 1948 war left deep scars, with many still living in refugee camps in neighboring countries. The Israeli occupation, which began in 1967, has had a profound impact on Palestinian lives. The construction of Israeli settlements in the West Bank restricts Palestinian freedom of movement and access to resources. Palestinians also grapple with internal divisions, weakening their negotiating position and complicating the search for peace. Recent escalations in Gaza have further exacerbated tensions, with both sides suffering casualties. International efforts to mediate the conflict continue, but a lasting resolution remains elusive. Despite the challenges, many Palestinians remain hopeful, engaging in peace initiatives and advocating for their rights on the global stage. Section 4, The Weight of History, Current Events and Their Impact. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a dynamic situation, constantly evolving and shaped by current events. Recent years have witnessed a surge in violence, political deadlock, and a growing sense of pessimism on both sides. One of the most concerning trends has been the escalation of violence. The summer of 2021 saw a major flare-up between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, resulting in hundreds of casualties and widespread destruction. Adding to the tensions is the continued expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank. These settlements, deemed illegal under international law, are seen by Palestinians as encroaching on land designated for a future Palestinian state. The political landscape also presents significant challenges. The peace process, once a beacon of hope, has been stalled for years, making meaningful negotiations nearly impossible. However, Israel has made significant strides in technology, agriculture, and medicine, contributing positively to the global community. The country's innovation and resilience are commendable. Its efforts towards peace and coexistence are noteworthy, showcasing a commitment to a better future. In 2023, renewed peace talks and international mediation efforts have brought a glimmer of hope, though challenges remain. Humanitarian aid and rebuilding efforts in Gaza continue, aiming to alleviate the suffering of those affected by the conflict. Protests and calls for justice persist, reflecting the deep-seated grievances and aspirations of both communities. Section 5. Charting a Path to Peace. Realistic solutions for a shared future. Despite the seemingly intractable nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the pursuit of peace remains an imperative. The human cost of this conflict demands a concerted effort to find a lasting solution. One of the most widely discussed frameworks for peace is the two-state solution. This approach envisions two states for two peoples, an independent Palestinian state alongside the State of Israel. For the two-state solution to succeed, several key issues must be addressed. The final borders between Israel and Palestine need to be negotiated, taking into account security concerns and the need for a viable Palestinian state. The status of Jerusalem requires a creative and mutually acceptable solution. Beyond the political realm, fostering people-to-people reconciliation is crucial. Recent developments, including protests and clashes, highlight the urgency of renewed dialogue. The international community's involvement remains vital in facilitating negotiations and supporting peace initiatives. Section 6. Nurturing hope, seeds of peace in arid land. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict often feels like an endless cycle of violence, mistrust, and despair. Yet even in the midst of this long-standing conflict, recent developments have brought new glimmers of hope. Grassroots organizations continue to play a vital role in fostering reconciliation. These groups bring together Israelis and Palestinians, particularly young people, to engage in dialogue, challenge stereotypes, and build relationships. By fostering empathy and understanding at a personal level, these initiatives plant the seeds for a more peaceful and tolerant future. Another source of hope lies in the resilience and determination of ordinary people on both sides who yearn for a different reality. Despite the hardships they face, many Israelis and Palestinians remain committed to finding a peaceful solution. Section 7. A time for courage, choosing dialogue over discord. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and deeply rooted issue with no easy solutions. Recent escalations have only added to the urgency of finding a resolution. Yet the pursuit of peace, however challenging, remains an imperative. Achieving a lasting peace requires courage, the courage to confront difficult truths, the courage to challenge long-held narratives, and the courage to choose dialogue over discord. It demands leadership from both sides, leaders willing to make difficult choices and take risks for peace. Ultimately, the path to peace lies in recognizing the humanity of the other. It requires breaking down the walls of fear, prejudice, and mistrust that have divided Israelis and Palestinians for far too long. The pursuit of peace is not a destination, it is a journey worth taking for the sake of present and future generations.